Welcome back to Money Unmasked, where we take the big, confusing government decisions and break them down into something normal people can actually understand. Today, we re-talking about the UK's digital ID plan, the one that was supposed to be mandatory, until the government suddenly U-turned. So what happened? Why did they scrap it? And what does it mean for you? The digital ID was meant to be a new way for people to prove who they are, stored on your phone, like a digital wallet. It would include your name, date of birth, nationality, residency status, and a photo. The government said it would make things easier for right-to-work checks, renting, benefits, banking, GP appointments, even voting. But here's the key part. It was supposed to be mandatory for anyone who wanted to work in the UK. The government said the digital ID would help stop illegal working and make the system more secure. Keir Starmer even said, "You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID." But that's where things started to fall apart. The moment the public heard mandatory, everything exploded. A petition passed 3 million signatures, one of the biggest in UK history. Civil liberties groups called it a honeypot for hackers. People worried about privacy, surveillance, data breaches, and government overreach. And honestly, those concerns weren't unfounded. Then came the technical issues. And they were not small. The system behind the digital ID, called One Login, failed to meet the government's own security standards. A red team test found that privileged access might be possible. Some development work was even done overseas without proper clearance. In short, the system wasn't ready, and rushing it would have been a disaster. Inside government, things were getting messy. Reports said ministers were worried about a cabinet revolt. Opposition parties mocked the plan. Even Labour MPs didn't want to defend it. One MP said it was hard to find anyone willing to support mandatory digital ID in public. And then, late one Tuesday night, the government quietly announced the change. Digital ID would still exist, but it would not be mandatory. Workers could use other digital documents instead, like biometric passports or electronic visas. The mandatory part? Gone. Right-to-work checks will still go digital by 2029, but you want to be forced to sign up for a digital ID. The government says the system will be voluntary and focused on convenience, not enforcement. Civil liberties groups are celebrating. Opposition parties are calling it a humiliating U-turn. And the public? Mostly relieved. So what does this actually mean for you? You won't need a digital ID to work. You won't be forced to store your identity on your phone. You can still use passports or other documents. Digital ID will be optional, at least for now. And the biggest takeaway? Public pressure works. This was one of the biggest policy U-turns in years, and it happened because millions of people spoke up. Digital ID isn't gone forever, but the mandatory version? Scrapped. If you want more calm, clear breakdowns of big decisions that affect your life, hit subscribe and stay unmasked.